come in from $2.90. $4.20 was put up when markets first came out. There's the favourite on the screen. Nath, beatable?
Certainly is. It was a winner here. Off box one in 34 and 46. That time would need to most probably replicate something like that here tonight. 9.20 early on that occasion to their first split. Ground that's not over-possessed with early speed and then does want to shift up the track slightly. So I think it's beatable. I think it's, you know, under the odds in my personal opinion. It's a very even race, so you've got another dog who's fresh that likes to use a bit of track in box 2 with He Shines. You've got a bit of speed with whatever Tess in box 3 who steps up in trip but want to get down to the fence. I think the dog well drawn is Poor Quimby, got a vacant box in box 4 underneath and a slow beginner in box 6. So Poor Quimby coming back from the 700 Fana Bale Stayers Heat. It's the same kind of recipe we've seen Poor Octavia have in the last race. I think it's the one that represents value for me. And then Poor Phelps was an impressive winner last week over 500, another one stepping up in trip. And Hello Par was a good Brisbane winner over the Carnival up there and maps to get on speed. So there's plenty of options here. I'm happy to shop around and a little bit away from Poor Bodie, who I think is a fraction short and wants to use a bit of the track.
$2.50 for Poor Bodie. Jace, who have you got? You got Miles.
I do have Miles Dalbridge. He's handling Poor Bodie, but they've also got, of course, Poor Phelps out in 7 miles. In your opinion, who's a better chance at the duo?
Oh, probably pretty even, really. Just depends on how they come out of the boxes, how they go around this first corner. That really makes or breaks this 600-metre distance race.
100% it does. There is Miles. I got a quick comment from Glenn Connell, and He Shines. He hasn't had a lot of racing recently, so where do you say he's at leading up to tonight?
Yeah, he's been probably he's struggling a little bit, trying to get a few races into him. He's injury prone, so we're just trying to get him right, and hopefully tonight's the night.
Good luck to the Connell family. I might have a quick chat to Adam Halloran, who's got whatever Tess from box 3. Now, Adam, she's drifting out the gate from a market point of view. Yep. But I know you've got quite confidence about her, so tell us what your expectations are tonight.
Oh, she likes the inside draw better than most, so odd box. She likes time in the boxes to settle, so she's just a funny dog, but she, it wouldn't surprise me if she led by a bit, so yeah, we'll see.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.
There's later skies ahead of the 4th in Australian Cup 9.
Race 4 at the Meadows coming up over 600 metres, the second heat of this 5th grade series. Nathan Rooney numbers.
5, 7, 1 and 2. I went Poor Quimby on top. I think it's not a bad box draw here, box 5. Vacant in 4, slow beginner in 6. We've seen the Grenfell team win the last with the Greyhound, who was up over 700 last week, dropping back to 600. Same training regime. This one, I think it can position somewhere up on speed, and then from there, with that residual 700 fitness, can be awfully strong at the back end of the race. Nice value around the $3.40 quote as we speak. 7 in for second, Poor Phelps, a good 525 metre winner here last week. Had a couple of goes at the 595 at Sandown, found the top and got a little bit tired. So had a few more runs back at 500 to get some miles in the legs, stepping up to 600 here. He'd need to be in front because he's not over strong late. 1 Poor Bodie in for third, a Greyhound. It's most probably short enough in the market for mine. Lacks a little bit of speed, wants to use a bit of the track. Couple of negatives, happy to kind of take it on at the price. For fourth, number 2, He Shines. Greyhound that's first up for a month, got plenty of upside. 5, 7, 1 and 2, my numbers.
Well, this could really put a rocket up the night for the Grenfells, who have a couple of Group 1 runners in the Rookie Rebel Paul Vortex, as well as the Australian Cup with Vincent Bale. Here's James.
Bet Heat 2 of the Grade 5 series. It's now 3.10 Poor Bodie, joint favourite with Poor Quimby. And they're coming in well now for the 4th race tonight. Heat 2 of the Grade 5s, the green light, and they're set to run now at the Meadows. Joint favourites 1 and 5, they're set. And they're racing, and whatever Tess flew out from the middle as expected will cross and lead Poor Phelps, who moves up only about a length away and now takes the lead a lap to go. So it's Poor Phelps ripping to the lead. Out by 4 to whatever Tess, 6 away to Poor Bodie, and then Poor Quimby, who's starting to make some good ground down the back over He Shines, Hold Me Closer, and Hello Par took a tumble at the first bend, but off the back it's all Poor Phelps here, about 7 lengths in front over Trying Hard Whatever Tess, closing Poor Bodie and Poor Quimby, but the bird might have flown. It's Poor Phelps, a huge leader, and Poor Phelps trots home to win it by 5.5 over Poor Bodie, who'll get through to grab second just over Poor Quimby, and then whatever Tess, a break to He Shines, Hold Me Closer, and failing to complete Hello Par. That is a brutal run, 34.36 for Poor Phelps.
34.36 for Poor Phelps. Mark Dalbridge, do you think he was that good to run that sort of time over 600?
Oh, look, I'll give him 2 starts over Sandown, and he led and got actually run down in 34.60, I think. So, yeah, look, probably not. No, I was waiting for him to get a little bit tired.
Do you have staying ambitions for him, or on that comment he gets a bit too tired, might stick to 600?
600 for now, and we'll play it by ear, just see what happens, I suppose.
Good job, mate.
No worries, thank you.
Mark Delbridge there after the Paul Phelps won very well in the 4th.
Good stuff, Patch. Thank you. Numbers 7, 5, 1 and 3. Paul Phelps was the winner for Mark Delbridge. We said earlier in the night that it's very rare we have any meeting in Victoria and the Delbridges don't go home without a winner.
Yeah, they ran 1-2 in that race. Paul Phelps, you know, I touched on pre-race. He had them a couple of 5.95s at Sandown and got run down. But I think that kind of held him in good stead to drop back to 500, get some more miles in the leg, stepping up to 600 tonight. Showed some really good early speed, got outside of the early leader in whatever tests, and then was able to show his mid-race brilliance, put a bit of a gap on him and keep rolling. Poor Bodie worked home well into second, but as you get to see on that replay, wants a bit of room. Granite's better suited to mid and wide draws. Poor Quimby didn't have a great deal of luck on box rise. He was working through the line quite nicely in the early lead of whatever test. Was able to get to the front, but wasn't able to pinch a break through the middle section and end up finishing in 4th. 34 and 35s are quite a good run overall, and the early splits are a little bit quicker than what we've seen in Heat 1, 8.90, 21.73 up the back. So greyhound that's certainly vulnerable, you know, previously over the 600, but starting to get some more residual fitness under its legs, and I think that's only start number 22 tonight. So we'll continue to get better with more racing at this distance range, and got plenty of upside for the Delbridge kennel.
Where do you think we can see this greyhound? Paul Phelps, of course, that was only start number 11 tonight. Son of Bernardo out of Dinah Harper. What's the future? What's the upside?
No, it was a good grade 5 winner here last week over 5.25. I do think it's better suited to this 600 metre distance range. As we said, it had a couple of starts over the 5.95 at Sandown, led and just got tired in the run home. So for me, it most probably needed them to really tighten it up, drop back in distance for, you know, a good 4 or 5 starts. Now ready to step up to 600 and most probably stay at this distance range around both metropolitan tracks going forward.
For the Wheeler family, a couple of winners on the night too. Wouldn't be an Australian Cup night really without a poor prefix winning.
No,
had a couple of them now.
And they're waiting for Vincent Bale in the big one, no doubt.
Yeah, that would be extremely special, especially for the Grenfells. What we might actually do here on the Sky Racing Active feed is have a short break, take a breather and come back before race 5, which will be the first leg of the quaddie. It's at 8 o'clock, do note, and it's coming up in about 14 minutes. We'll probably see you in around 4 or 5 minutes.